Have you guys ever seen a train passing by and you had to look at the locomotive and you see a number on the side of the cab, and then you look up the top and you see another set of numbers on top in boards, and you're thinking to yourself, what's that supposed to mean? Why is that there? Why are the boards there? What kind of math is this? Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, this is a process I like to call classification. So, you see, classification is a form of identifying something. Like, for example, let me take these. This is a headphone case. You got like headphones. These are technically like earbuds. So this is an earbud case, a part of headphones. Let's take crap. All right, this is a flashlight, a pretty big one. All right, so that's basic stuff. Classification for trains. That's basically the same thing except with numbers. You see, with trains, the locomotives, they have numbers because they are like part of a class. For example, this locomotive you're looking at right here is an Horizon 2800 class locomotive. How do I know that? Well, you're looking at the number on the side of the cab and the number boards on the roof of the cab. Yeah, they sort of say it's got the 28 in front of the last two numbers, meaning it is a part of the 2800 class, which is pretty cool. Another locomotive, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, I will put on the screen right now. So, what is this, you ask? This is Southern Pacific 4449, a GS4 class locomotive. It is a part of the GS4 class, the GS standing for Golden State or General Service, and the 4 meaning that the GS4s, they were like the fourth class of Golden State locomotives. There are a total of 8 classes of General Service locomotives built. Well, Golden State, whatever. The GS stands for Golden State or General Service, so you can use whichever one you want, and they would still sound the same. Well, initials-wise, that is. So, basically, let's go through the rundown. So, we got the GS1s, which were unstreamlined, and were numbered between 4400 and 4409. 10 of them were produced. Next up, we got the GS2s, which were numbered between 4410 and 4415. Total 6 were produced. But unlike the GS1s, they were streamlined. If it isn't obvious already, the GS1s came first in the GS class, and the GS2s came second in the GS class. Now, the third member of the GS class, the GS3s, they were numbered between 4416 and 4429, and a total of, I think 14 were built. Let me just double check. So, wait, what? Yeah, so a total of 14 were built. And next up, we got the GS4s, which are the best GS class Northerns, in my opinion. Yeah, these things were for Northern locomotives. The 4, meaning they had 4 wheels on the pilot truck. The 8, meaning they had 8 driving wheels. And 4, the other 4, meaning they had 4 wheels on their trailing trucks, which is pretty cool. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the GS4s, a total of 28 were built, numbered between 4430 and 4457. Next up, we got the GS5s. Only 2 of them were built, which were basically a copy and paste of the GS4s, but with better roller bearings and other minor things. So basically, these things are numbered between 4458 and 4459. Next up, we got the GS6s, which did not have a Mars light for some reason, but anyway. So, yeah, there were a total of 10 of them were built. They were numbered between 4460 and 4469. Next up, these aren't really official Southern Pacific locomotives, but there were leased to them by the Cotton Belt Railroad during World War II. These were GS7s and GS8s, which were unstreamlined, because, well, the Cotton Belt, they did not build their locomotives as streamlined. I don't know what their purpose was for, but, yeah, they definitely weren't meant to be streamlined, so, yeah, they were not streamlined. And, now the numbers with these locomotives, they're kind of different to, like, normal numbers. You see, so we've got 1 through to 10, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see, you got 10 fingers. But these numbers, they're kind of different, because, like, you still count them up the same way, but the order is slightly different. Let's have a look at the GS1s, for example. They're numbered between 4400 and 4409. Now, when I said there were 10 of them, I know you guys were probably like, wait, but it goes up to the 9. So wouldn't there be 9 of them? Well, you would be correct. except, nah, this is completely different. So, basically, 4400 was the first locomotive of the GS1 class to be built, and 44R9 was the last locomotive of the GS1 class to be built. Basically, it goes something like this. So, 4400 was built first, making it the first locomotive of the GS1 class. Then 4401 was built next, was the second locomotive built for the GS1 class, making it, well, the second, obviously. Next up, 4402, the third one, which was the third member of the GS1 class to be built, and so on and so forth, up to 4409. So, yeah, that's a pretty interesting process. So yeah, that's really interesting. Because, like, I keep forgetting what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so, like, classification numbers on trains, they're pretty cool because, the numbers, they signify what class a locomotive is in a classification of locomotives. Like, let's say, for example, this locomotive on the screen, LNER 4472, aka the Flying Scotsman, was a part of the LNER A1 and A3 class locomotives. But I'm not really familiar with this, but I think that there is something I was researching a while back, and I managed to come across this. Believe it or not, 4472 was not Flying Scotsman's original number. Shocker, I know. Its original number was actually 1472 because I think it was built for the Great Northern Railway, I think, before it got merged in with some other railroad companies to create the London North Eastern Railway in 1923, which was the same year the locomotive was built. Now, I don't know the whole story on that, but I do know that it was the third member of the class to be built, because we got the Great Northern, aka GNR 1470, which was constructed in 1922, and then 1471, I do not know the name of. Then we got 1472, the Flying Scotsman. Now, I don't know when the Flying Scotsman was renumbered from 1472 to 4472, but I do know this. It is the third member of the class, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Flying Scotsman and that. I'll do a bit of research after this video. So yeah, that's basically it. It's a pretty interesting process. So yeah. So the next time you see a locomotive with a number on the side of the cab and the number boards on the roof, you will know that it is a part of a class of other locomotives. And they put the number boards up on the roof to make it easier when you're looking at the locomotive. So that you don't have to, like, always look on the side of the cab, because you've got the number boards and they'll tell you the number of the locomotive, which is very interesting. Yeah. So that's another interesting thing about numbers. Not only are they common in math, but common on trains as well. So that's something. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I don't know, I had nothing better to do. I was going to make an American Truckson video last night, but that game did not want to work for some reason, so yeah, that kind of sucked. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Share this to anyone you want. And, yeah, that's it for me. I'll see you later. Bye.